From Dowling Field on the campus of St. Joseph High School, we have this Week 8 Connecticut High School football matchup between the top two teams in the state, the St. Joseph High School Cadets and the Darien Blue Wave. And a pleasant good afternoon, everybody. Braden Schenck joined alongside me, Peter McLean. And Pete, despite the weather here, we should have a very good game on our hands.
Braden, we got number 1 and number 2 in the state, almost even on paper. I think this one is going to come down to just who wants it more, who can come in, execute their game plan, ignore the weather and other distractions, and just do what they need to do to get a win here.
Now let's talk about both sides in this one. First, starting with the Blue Wave, fresh off of their win at Fairfield Ludlow last week. This Darien offense has been unstoppable this year.
Yeah, nothing short of magnificent from the Darien offense.
And now let's look over to the St. Joseph side. They're a team that's either very battle-tested or worn out, playing their third tough team in the past 3 weeks. They played number 4 Greenwich, then at the time number 4 Richfield, and now they play Darien.
It's been a grind for St. Joe's, and they just need to do it for one more week here.
Last time these teams met, the Blue Wave won 22-7 back in 2018. Since that meeting, St. Joe's is 29-0, the current active longest win streak in the state of Connecticut. Peter, St. Joe's has the momentum going for them. How do you think that's going to kind of play into today? Well, Dowling Field is known to be a tough place for oppositions to come in and play. People have been tailgating here for hours before kickoff. Darien, not much of a fan section, but they should be filing as the game happens. It's number 1 versus number 2, and what New Canaan head coach Lou Marinelli calls it the greatest weekend in FCAC history. Darien and St. Joe's coming up in just a moment. To pick up the catch and make it 3rd and 2 for the Hogs. Morrissey. And it's caught by Hutchison for a first down for the Hogs.
Yeah, and you know, it's just those plays that don't have a huge effect in the moment, but that's a play that keeps the drive going, keeps St. Joe's marching down the field. So important plays nonetheless.
Might not be the flashiest of plays, but it gets the job done. A small pass over to a reliable receiver. St. Joe's lines up, twin receivers, Morrissey and Jordan in the backfield. Hands it off to Jordan. Taken down by Barber and Steinkraus.
Picks up a yard on the play.
We've been calling those guys' names a lot. Jack Barber, Griffin Steinkraus, both just juniors,
Like
playing a big part on that Darien D-line. Second and 8 on the 28-yard line. Recco in motion. Hands it off to Jordan. And is taken down. Reeser and Barber this time make the stop. No gain. 3rd and 8 for the Hogs. Take another look at it. Reeser doing a great job taking him down. And then Allegro and Barber there to reinforce.
Reeser's been applying a lot of pressure today from the edges. Just something to keep watch of. It's been big for this Darien defense thus far.
Third and 9. Interesting formation on that far side of the field. Morrissey drops back and into the ground. A hit, and the flag is thrown.
And there you go. You had a feeling that was coming. Ball was down. It was close. He had momentum, but that is going to be a late hit. That's going to actually give St. Joe's a first down.
What's interesting is the referee right there, the line judge, didn't call anything. It was the umpire from the other side of the field throwing the flag.
I think what it was, Reeser was definitely going to make contact with him. That was unavoidable, but I think it was the extra little push he threw on it that drew the flag. Reeser runs into him. It's not a big deal. The fact that he gave him a little push and shoved him to the ground, that'll draw a flag almost every time.
A personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the Blue Wave.
So there's still some discussion. They're yet to walk the ball forward. And there they go.
Personal foul on Darien. And the lines will move all the way to the 42-yard line. Big yards for St. Joe's off the penalty. off a pass that went pretty much straight into the ground. It wasn't even catchable for Jordan.
Yeah, Morrissey, minus the touchdown throw, has not been as sharp as we would have expected him to be early.
Morrissey hands it off to Jordan. And will be eventually taken down by Steinkraus and McGarren.
Brought down by 37. McGarren.
St. Joe's will do it again now on 2nd and 8. Now on the 44-yard line. Morrissey alone in the backfield. And the blitz is on. Throws it downfield and is caught by Luke Damel for the interception. Damel brings it all the way to the Darien 45. The second interception for the Blue Wave this afternoon.
You know, early on we put up a Miles Drake graphic, and I pointed out that he had thrown 4 picks, and I said that's something the St. Joe's defense would try to capitalize on. I could not have been more wrong. It's been the other way the whole game. Darien has been able to get a lot of pressure on Morrissey very quickly, too. I'm impressed by how quickly that pressure comes. Forces him to throw a ball up. Doesn't have as much time as he would have liked, kind of throwing off balance, and Damel there to just come down with that one.
Was throwing it to Hutchison, overshoots him, and Damel's there to come away with it. Darien will now try their luck on the offense. Hand off to Comiskey. Using his size to bring it to the 50-yard line for a pickup of 5. And we mentioned Ty Comiskey having monster games last week versus Ludlow. 27 carries for 199 yards.
Yeah, and for those of you who join us often, you'll hear how much I love to talk about Ty Comiskey's ability to run after contact, and it's such an impressive skill that he's able to do that.
Drake drops back. Wide open is Matthew Minikis. He makes the catch. Touchdown, Darien!
And this is where Ty Comiskey plays such a big role. You see the St. Joe's defense keys up on him. Darien's been pounding the ball with Comiskey all day. St. Joe's defense press, boom, Miles Drake over the top to Matt Minikis. Touchdown.
Matt Minikis wide open for a long touchdown of 50 yards. You take another look at it. There was no one even guarding him.
And credit to Drake to just drop that in the bucket to Minikis. Just wonderful play there by Darien. And this is the thing. We talked about it in the open as the extra point is up and good. Comiskey's such a threat, you can't lose sight of the other talent Darien has. They're not a one-dimensional team. It's not just going to go through Comiskey the entire time, and as soon as you can catch a defense like that slacking, then Minikis is wide open over the top, and it's an easy touchdown for Darien.
Before the game, St. Joe's head coach Joe Delavecchia said on Darien's offense, they have so many weapons, we can't try to contain all of them. So they're going to do their best to try to take a little away from each and every one of them.
If there's an Angelo Ferranti in the crowd, please make your way to the booth.
14-7. Darien leads 2 touchdowns from the hand of Miles Drake to the hands of Matt Minikis.
And the big thing for St. Joe's right now is to not play out of your mind, just get back in this game. You can go on a nice long drive. You got 5 minutes before the half, plenty of time. Darien is going to get the second half kickoff, though, so you got to think they got to at least go in maybe a touchdown down, but they'd really like to get a score back and tie this game going into the half.
This could be a game-changing possession for the Hogs. A touchdown would keep them in it. If they don't score here, Pete, it's a golden opportunity coming out of the half for the Blue Wave.
Yeah, and the other big thing, if you're not going to score for St. Joe's, just make sure you don't leave Darien in a position with enough time on the clock to get another one going into half and then start with the ball coming out.
Long kick, skies it all the way. And Long breaks the tackle and brings it out to the 38-yard line. A great job by number 22, Ethan Long. I believe it's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. So they will move it back to the 47-yard line after the long gain from Lucas Coleman. But some life for Fairfield. Ward.
Lucas Coleman's really been Ward's most explosive player. He's had a few good kick returns, and we just saw that amazing reception.
Goldman being pressured, and he is taken down. Dylan Blair with the sack.
That's 2 straight plays Dylan Blair's gotten pressure on the quarterback. He almost had that safety about a split second too late, but there he managed to get the sack.
Blair, the senior, came off an impressive game last week where he recorded 5 tackles versus the Ludlow Falcons. And he picks up a sack right there. His first full sack on the season.
The New Canaan pass rushes wasted no time getting to the quarterback once again this half. Ward's really got to sharpen up on the offensive line.
Goldman drops back. Short little screen pass over to number 5. Schweiler. And he will pick up a couple, bringing it back to the initial line of scrimmage at the 47-yard line for a 3rd and 10.
Once again, the Rams forced Goldman to get the ball out of his hand really quick. They tried that screen pass, and that went for about a gain of 2. So not the worst result ever.
Back on the 47-yard line, 3rd and 10 for the Mustangs. They're just going to try to keep the chains moving, keep the offense out on the field. Trips on the far side, Goldman and Schweiler in the backfield. Drops back. Over the middle is complete. They will pick up the first down and a few more. Catch from Matthew Selka.
Matthew Selka has been the other lifeline for this Ward offense. He's made a few receptions in this game, and that one was a good one. Went for about 11, 12.
Actually, believe it or not, that was Selka's first completion of the game. He's been targeted quite a few times. Just hasn't been able to come away with the reception. And he does right there, picking up the first down for the Mustangs. Hands it off to Schweiler. Dragged down by number 26, Bo Aarons.
Schweiler's really had not much success running the ball this game. The New Canaan D-line has been dominant over this Ward O-line. So they might have to veer away from that running game, but that's hard because you really want to establish a rush.
Ward in an interesting situation. 3rd string running back, a sophomore quarterback. They're just going to try to get any yards they can as Goldman drops back. Completed to Coleman, trying to pick up a couple more, and he is stopped by 4 New Canaan players. Initial tackle by Rittenberry.
Theme I've noticed on all of Coleman's receptions is that he'll always fight for the extra yards. No matter if he has 1 ram on him or 4, he'll always try to get as many yards as possible.
Those little yards, they all add up in the long run. The yards after contact. And New Canaan, they're going to have to get familiar with that. Darien's Ty Comiskey coming in for the Turkey Bowl has the highest yards after contact in the state. But as you mentioned, Coleman doing a good job here as Coleman is in motion. Hands it off to Schweiler. Stopped by a committee of New Canaan players for a gain of a couple.
This has been arguably the most successful drive by Ward. They had that massive reception by Coleman, and this is really unfortunate. We see Schweiler hobbling over to the sideline. Now, I'm not really sure who's going to play running back.
Schweiler just collapsed on the sidelines. I think he got back up. He appears to be fine, but he is off the field. So Fairfield Ward will try their 4th running back, 4th string. Appears to be number 1, Christopher Silk. Goldman takes the snap, throws it over the middle, complete to Selka. Picks up the first down, and the chains will move. The Mustangs, we mentioned Bermudez, Volante, they're mainly 1-2 punch at running back. Both out tonight. They went to William Schweiler. He just left play. And Christopher Silk, now the running back for the Mustangs.
I anticipate we'll see a lot of passes. I'm not sure they'll go with the run, especially with their 4th string running back now in. But we'll see.
Silka Sr. mainly playing defense as it will be handed off to Silk. Breaks the initial contact, trying to power through for a gain. And we'll bring it to the 12-yard line.
You can tell Silk's definitely a football player. I mean, he's able to break the tackle, but he's not really necessarily a running back. He didn't really get his pads low, and he was a bit up high, and it kind of didn't allow him to get as many yards as he possibly could have.
Christopher Silk, the mainly linebacker for the Mustangs, senior captain for them.
He's described by his coaches as a leader on the field. As Golban drops back, throws it, complete, staying with it is number 6, Gerald Jacobs.
Yeah, back to talking about Christopher Silk. If they are going to run with him, I expect it to be up the middle. He's listed at 6 foot, 200, just over 200 pounds. So he's definitely got that linebacker build, and he'll be able to break tackles as we saw on the previous run play.
His job mainly tackling guys, now shifting to gaining yards. And the Mustangs have some offense, have some life in them with the 3rd and 3 from the 7-yard line. Golban and Silk in the backfield. Twin receivers. Golban takes a snap, being rushed. Quick pass, complete to Coleman. He will bring it to the 5-yard line, and they're going to call it 4th down. They're going to say he's short. So it's going to be 4th and inches. 4th and 1 they'll give him. This is a big deciding play here. The Mustangs, are they just going to take their 3 easy points, or if they're going to stay out there and go for the touchdown?
This really is a hard play because they need points. So getting stopped on 4th down would be probably the worst case scenario. And we just saw William Onschweiler come back in the game, and we're glad to see that he's not too banged up.
Silk is now hustling off the field. Had a good stay at running back for the Mustangs, but he will be returning to linebacker. Golban and Onschweiler in the backfield. 6 on the play clock. 4th and 1. Takes the snap. Golban drops back, throws it over the middle, complete by Coleman. And they're going to move it to the 2-yard line, picking up the 1st down.
Coleman's really been the favorite target of Golban. And as we saw there, they trusted him. They trusted Golban to make the throw, and they picked up the 1st down.
Mention Ward head coach Duncan Del Volpe, former offensive coordinator for Lou Marinelli at New Canaan, won the 2008 state championship. But he had experience with a good offense here at New Canaan, and kind of gave him the experience to make those big calls in the big situations, as it will be 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. Schweiler and Golban in the backfield, twin receivers. Golban drops back, throws it, and incomplete. Good pressure by number 21, Dylan Murray.
It's been the same story all night. The New Canaan pass rush has gotten to Golban. He was forced to make a quick throw, and it wasn't on target, thrown out of bounds, and they really haven't been able to give him time in the pocket.
Golban trying to complete some passes. Mentioned being very cut on time, as there's a little under 3 minutes left to play in the 3rd quarter.
We'll see if they choose to run with William Almschweiler. They might want to take it easy on him, considering he was just banged up. Well, you know, he has been one of their go-to options.
Golban with the snap, over the middle, caught by Schweiler for the Ward touchdown. You mentioned, Dylan, you called it. Schweiler, they were going to not necessarily hand him off the ball, but they throw it over the middle to him, and they pick up the touchdown.
That was a good route by Almschweiler. He just got around the tackle and cut right up the field for the touchdown.
I did also mention Schweiler, normally a wide receiver for this team, saw 14 receptions in the team's first 4 games